out. All right. This music's a little different. It's okay to do different things. Find my way around. Okay. It's been so long, I don't remember where we left off. It's okay. And it's a Friday. People have things to do. Better things to do than hang out with me for sure, but we'll see. It's been a busy few days, very eventful in LA. Lots of really unfortunate developments. And my tendency is to make light of it, but it's too soon. There is a lot. A lot of really messed up things that went down in the fire, and so far it's been okay for me, but we're not out of it yet. Still, we have a window here for me to be a little productive, so I'm going to try. And in this window, some of these small blue highlights. My drawing settings are all correct. It's correct as far as I can tell.
Sophie, your hair looks just like starlight.
These different call them, the joints. Lollywobbles. Your new haircut. You haven't, you've been missing streams. Yeah, I got my haircut shortly after Halloween. Yeah, my good locks are all gone. No, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's good to hear from you. It's been very dramatic in LA lately. We're safe enough. I mean, there's like no safe place really right now. So that's kind of crazy. It's crazy to like say that and think that, but it's kind of true. So I will neither brag nor complain. Yeah, we're not evacuated yet. Right now, I'm at my parents' house where Boxer lives, and there is I have a studio space like set up on a laptop in my old bedroom, so that's what I'm doing right now. I can work here away from our house, and it's mostly the same, but it's it's no safer here than at my house. It's probably less safe because it's closer to the mountains. But these mountains in particular have not been victim yet to the terrible firestorm that is going on. I'm not evacuated or anything like that. I'm here at where Boxer lives in my childhood bedroom, and only because it's a place to go. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's like I still got to work, even though they shut the schools down. So as far as like with my kids and stuff, like, because they're my son's in preschool, my daughter's in 2nd grade, and it's like they don't have anywhere to go or do anything for the day, and I gotta keep busy with work, so I opted to take them out here where, at least they can be spoiled and eat cookies all day and stuff like that. It's not all bad either. My daughter goes and gets a piano lesson sometimes when she's out here. But yeah, I don't have any dramatic stories yet. Yeah, I'm comfy here. And if we were to evacuate, this is where we would come. But it's not safe from the fire here either by any means, so we could evacuate here to here and then just as soon have to evacuate again somewhere else. As it is, we've already got in the car, which I drove over here, like our emergency preparedness bags, our kits, our important identifying documents, petty cash, stuff like that. We're ready to go if we have to. As far as still spreading, heard things in the weekend gonna pick up again. Yeah, they will still spread if the reason they got so bad was just a huge, like, perfect storm of fire conditions, the likes of which I've never seen, and I've lived here my whole life, so Oh, I want to say I messed with the audio settings a little bit. So if it sounds better, that's good. And if it sounds much worse, please let me know. And this music is different, which is a good thing. But the sounds good. Good with 3 O's. That's gotta be good. But yeah, some Studio Ghibli lo-fi. Seems like a fun change of pace. This bridge is really hard to calculate the lighting with because it's basically a bunch of tubes that are pointing in different directions, and none of them are sort of like direct angles where you would consider that the ideal way to bounce off light towards camera. So everything's sort of indirect, and I'm really having trouble thinking of what that means. But I know at the very least, the sticks going away from camera have to have a different light reflection pattern than the ones coming towards camera. That's why they're sort of alternating here. You're a conspiracy nut at my job today said they were intentionally burning to wipe things out and rebuild a smart city, aka the future. I think homie had too much meth. Definitely. I mean, they don't need to intentionally do things to cause fires around here. I gave my mom a hug today and let out, and just like that contact, the connection between our bodies let out a spark that was audible and visible. And so it's like, yes, fires are more than not often caused by arson, but with winds like this, like you can't discount the fact that like just two squirrels snuggling away from the cold to get away from the cold could spark something. Squirrels snuggle. They're constantly snuggling. Robo squirrels, yeah. Electro squirrels. Yeah, or it could be like meth heads, you know, doing their thing. I mean, it's probably a much higher likelihood of that, but you know, I don't want to be charitable. Better to blame it on the squirrels. Squirrels, do. They're always starting fires, do. I don't know if I love the Studio Ghibli lo-fi, but we'll give it another couple minutes. This isn't like this isn't lo-fi like I like my lo-fi.
The rocks talk to you? Oh, yes, Botsu. The earth speaks to all of us. And if we listen, we can understand.
It's like Dr. Robotnik. Yeah. Super small details on this whole big old thing. That's the process. I hope everybody had a decent week. all things considered, my week went really well. I worked all week. I'm curious if there will be any... Oh, I don't know. In an event like this, there's always, I mean, it's like something terrible happens, but then something good can come out of it. It just makes me wonder if there will be any, will we get needed reforms of XYZ or whatever? It's like, probably not. Probably things just get worse, but would it be nice if we learned from our collective mistakes and tried to do things differently? But like, my parents' house is just as close to the mountains as the ones as the ones that were burning. My parents' house is, it's like, whatever, there's 2 houses and probably we're probably like 300 feet from the base of a mountain that is just covered in dry brush. And the stuff that hit everybody else could easily hit us. So it's just because if things are calm where I'm at, like, I'm not just worried about where I'm at. I'm not going to be calm until the rain starts soaking everything again. Yeah, we're as ready as we ever can be. We certainly have fairly complete, plans in place and contingencies and stuff. If my parents' house is in trouble, they're going to come to our house. If our house is in trouble, we're going to come here. But I mean, it's weird that, to me, it's weird because it's usually Chatsworth is, it's like the first place to spark a fire. Because it's always windy here. It's always dry here. On the other hand, the fire crews have so much experience with these areas here that I'd be very, it wouldn't be like in the power. She did? That's great. Thank you, Mom. Mom, do you mind seeing if you could give them some pasta for dinner? Do you think you could give them some pasta for dinner?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much. It's my mom being a great grandma. Not a great grandma, but a great grandma. In the Palisades, I don't think they were as historically prepared with, I don't know, it felt like too many new things at once, maybe. I don't know. The people weren't used to evacuating. The firefighters weren't used to getting up and down. Like here, where I'm at right now at my parents' house, people are always cognizant of fire danger and more or less ready to go anytime. I doubt that was the case in the Palisades. It's a sad truth, but what do I know? They do their thing. Now this all looks like way too much detail. But that's okay. That's just because what it looks like is that it's like soaked in gasoline, right? Which looks weird because nothing else looks like it's soaked in gasoline yet. But then it's like terrible. Given all the available analogies that go right to the flammable ones. Onto the... You know what? There's just a couple more things I want to fix. This little area definitely needs a little blue light. It's a highlight. Yeah, I'm gonna have to switch the music away, because I don't like this. It's just super repetitive. Sector says, I'm in the Pacific Northwest, but usually if there's any California fires, we can get the smoke all the way up here. No smoke yet, for probably any day now. Wow. The direction of the smoke right now is going straight out to the ocean. But what's interesting is, I guess there is just this big atmospheric gyre that is, it's like a conveyor belt in the sky that's sending stuff up and then back down this way. We'll see. We need better. Let's try a different one. Boop-a-da-boop. There's definitely, ooh, I had, Lord of the Rings lo-fi was good. Go to the beginning. Cool. Journey warned us. The wheel in the sky keeps on turning. That's ouchie. That one was ouchie. But funny. That's funny. So you get like allergies during the during fire season. Definitely going to be in danger of
There's always been a Baggins
going way too far with my highlights on this,
under the hill
but I don't care.
in Baggin. There always will be.
And he will always be blazing. Always. Blazing the infernal halfling's leaf. Every once in a while, we'll hear one of those giant super scooper airplanes blazing on by. Get a little itchy. I think I'm allergic to certain trees. Yeah, you and if not the trees, then certainly like the burned up smoke of the trees. Yeah, my wife is allergic to olive trees and walnut trees, and guess what used to be a big walnut orchard? It's our neighborhood. Oh yeah, well it's all I won't say stuff like that, but it's definitely a testament to the fun ways that our body works, right? My theory is that the bokoblins have a lot of latent sex appeal. If I could just harness their anatomy, the power of their yes, it'll be madness. But that makes it educational for me too. The human body is the medium by which I express my, or in this case, the bokoblin body. There's an artist, Simon Bisley. It might be Bisley, but he is I mean, he fell off artistically, unfortunately. But in the prime of his day, he really had the corner of this kind of rendering, go-to rendering for, I don't know, if you had a comic book character that needed to look like a roided out biker from hell, he was the guy. its time and place, but you know, I find details like that fun to render, and I don't get enough practice with it, so why not? And later down the road, of course, it'll happen later, of course, but the you know, I'll draw all sorts of shit to scuff these guys up. Bokoblins are not, at least not the ones I'm drawing. They don't need to be perfectly clean and manicured. All sorts of crap in their ears. Stick some lice on their bodies. Some scars, some scuff marks. The whole shebang. Sort of important. Bursting, yeah. Yeah, they need swollen. See, I don't know if that's appropriate, but they definitely need it was a bulging beast of a man. Engorged, yeah. Swollen, swole.
Whom do you serve?
Whom do you serve? Taste man flesh. I always wondered, like, do they hire it's like, who's the guy who, like, he's like, oh, I'm a voice actor. Oh yeah, what do I know your work from? And then he, like, just gives, like, a trademark snarl, and you just know he was, like, the guy that gave the horrifying growling and snarling sounds from the Doom series or something like that, right? I've talked about this before, but one of my neighbors, I'd seen this guy walk by 1,000 times with his greyhounds. He did like a greyhound rescue thing in a former life, but he's walking by, and we're just chatting one day finally after so many years, and you know, it's like, what do you do? Conversation comes up, and I find out that he's a voice actor, and that he was Psycho Mantis in the original, the PlayStation Metal Gear Solid. And then he starts going into character. He's like, Snake, you know, whatever. And does the, Psycho Mantis, yeah. That was a trippy one where I remember they're like, put your controller down and I will make it move. And telekinesis, and so you put your controller down, and then the PlayStation sends the vibrate signal to it, and so it starts vibrating across whatever table you put it on. Those fucking details, man. It's been downhill with video games ever since that. Yeah, man, that stuff was awesome. There's like an inverse correlation to the chart of like the amount of time after I got Metal Gear Solid and like my grades that semester, like time spent playing video games and time spent doing homework was a inverted graph. That was horrible. It's like I could not care less about school. And then video games got incredibly amazing. I was like, nope, no more of that. I'm not doing school anymore. I was like, I've got important things to do, like saving the world. I'm gonna go one more hour. I promised my bro I would stop around 6 p.m. so he could stream. Because we will, I will not win the battle for the bandwidth. This is also one of those, because of the fire, it's one of those circumstances where, normally you allow yourself a semblance of privacy. You set your notifications to silent. You don't want to hear from a bunch of people. It's not like it's an emergency. Well, now it's like you really are just sort of expecting emergency notifications constantly. You want to know what's going on. You definitely need to know if people are telling you, hey, there's a new fire, your neighbors are trying to reach out. So I've got, it's just like my watch is just exploding constantly with updates on this fire, this evacuation, that evacuation. Half my neighbors left town, and so they're all texting us to like go collect their packages. They're like, "Are you still at home? Can you pick up my package that's sitting out there?" It's like, no problem. Just being a good neighbor. And it's a thing where it's like a lot of people in LA aren't from LA. And even if they meet other people and get married here, they still don't have, those people still don't necessarily have family in LA. Or it's like their family is far away, So what do people do when they need a place to go in an emergency? It's not always clear. So I was like, everybody just come to my parents' house. And it's like, it's slim that the reality would actually go that way, and they would need to.
9 rings were gifted
But
to the
it's
race
still,
of
people
men.
feel better knowing that
Desire
there
power.
are others looking out for them and caring, and that maybe there are options for them instead of like, I got nowhere to go. What they're gonna find, and they are finding this, is that some people really were so unprepared when it came time to evacuate that they couldn't leave. Like, for whatever reason, they talked themselves into staying during a fire that destructive. Devouring whole neighborhoods. I'm sure we've all seen the footage, so I won't harp on it too much, but this is the hard part about muscle shinings, is that you see there's two forms here. So you got a highlight here and a highlight here, but then there's like what's the difference between convex and concave? I'm going to look this up. Convex versus concave. Okay, so cave is like a cave, where it goes, like you push it with your finger and it makes an indent. So it's like a cave. You make a cave with your finger. So that would make, these are convex, so they come out at us. But then this one goes in, but it still has a highlight. And a lot of the lines that I've done that are black actually fall into those, like, it's probably more like that. You know what I mean? I think that's something I'll run into, and I won't labor it too much. It's like perfect or photoreal or anything like that, but not necessarily easy stuff. This lo-fi I'm into, although it's a little trippy. Like, this is trippy to me. Lord of the Rings came out when I was at probably the height of my stoner powers. I'm definitely in danger of overdoing it with these highlights, like I said, but I want to know, where's that limit, Because this is on a separate layer. So I can always dial that back in. Ears especially are like super greasy. At least on a few humans that I know. thing is to go whoop at the top of his lungs. He's clearly stimming or something, but... And for the most part, I find it funny and fun. He gets a total crack out of it, but he's getting to that point where we want to get him a little bit more ready for preschool, so. So I'll laugh, but then I'll be like, stop it. I'm going with you. The Eaton Fire, which is the one in Pasadena. Almost 14,000 acres. Dear Lord. And that's the one that affected more people in the general circles that I know. Like my parents' friends and even my work colleagues. I know a director who had his house burned down. But there are, it's weird, but it's not too dissimilar than when my daughter got sick. At first it's just all these terrible things, but then people really start reaching out and coming together and letting you know that, like, hey, you know, if something bad happened to you, I would be devastated. I want you to know that if you're in a place where you need help, I want you to call me first or something like that. You don't feel so alone. Yeah, there's hard times, but crises really tend to simplify the world. When you think about, well, what do I need?
I'm glad you're with me.
It's a very interesting question. What do you need? It's sort of like, it's almost like the same thing like asking, who are you really? You know? What can you take away? What's the threshold of what you can lose and still be who you are? In that framing, the question of what we need, sort of a simple one. We don't need almost anything. We need. Marcus Aurelius there's a quote from one of his books where he would write, never forget how small we are. How little it takes to clothe us or sustain our bodies. All the Golem needed was the precious. When my daughter got sick, we were in the hospital for a while, and then I was sent home to collect some things. We were sort of expecting her to die at the hospital at that time. So we and this was definitely like go to the hospital, or sorry, go home and then come right back. You know, but it was one of those things where it's like we needed some basics of stuff, like a toothbrush, right? Change of clothes for my wife.
It's done. Yes, Mr. Frodo. It's over now.
Stuffed animal for my daughter. His comforts. In the end, it all fit into a backpack. And what was funny, it wasn't funny, but it was interesting. I remember coming home and looking at our home, and it was a snapshot of the day we left, even though it had been 7 days earlier. There was still dirty dishes in the sink. There was a high chair, right? My daughter was a baby at the time. There was a high chair. It still had Cheerios on it. All the markings of a loving and lived-in home. But I remember looking at it and it feeling so foreign. It felt like I had walked into somebody else's house. Because those 7 days, that was a long time ago at that point. Everything had changed. I knew that the life that we had left was no longer, that wasn't my life anymore. My life was different now. And this home wasn't my home anymore. My home was in the hospital with my wife and kid. That was where I belonged. I didn't belong in my house. There was no comfort to be found there. Because I couldn't go back. Not that way. It wasn't about going back through the door. It was everything had to be set right again. That's something that I reflect again also with all the things happening. In a crisis like this, it's basically a similar kind of situation where something huge and life-changing has happened all at once for so many people. And for those who escape unscathed, there's this impulse, and it's a good impulse. It's the right response, but it's We get so anxious seeing the discomfort of others that we care about, that we feel like we have to do something. I have to act now, and it has to be something that fixes it as soon as possible. But the healing for this can't happen that quickly. Despite it going bad overnight, the healing process won't be rushed. It'll be something that takes many years. And people are just embarking on that journey. You can't rush that metamorphosis. It's a painful but necessary growth. In time, it may be something that we can see the good in, but that will take a long time. But it really is the small things that make the difference at this point. Just make one tiny thing. If you can, just any small thing that you can make less burdensome. It can go a long way. One less problem to solve. There was one reality is when your kid is in the hospital, people don't necessarily think about this, but you know, the kid's meal in the hospital is free. That's covered. The parent's meal is not. Now, what typically happens is sick kids don't eat much. Parent can just eat the kid's meal. That's like typically what happens. But they don't. It's not exactly fine dining. And if you want, first off, if you want anything other than like meatloaf and French fries and peas, then you have to order from a different menu, and that it's not expensive. It's like $5, but it's not free. And at that. 3 times a day, because my wife was always in the hospital with our daughter. 3 times a day, it's $15, and you had to pay cash. No, that's fine, except it's not necessarily easy coming up with cash. We're 15 times 5. Is it like $75 or something? It's kind of a lot when you're living on charity. Even a little light here on this little pouch. So there's a lot that you can help someone with just by giving them like a prepaid gas card. Stuff like that. Super helpful. And I remember coming home at least a few times. And there was bags of groceries on our front porch. No indication of who laid them there. Eventually I found out it was one of my buddies, but, you know, it didn't say from Justin or anything like that. It was left there to be what it was, a blessing. The small things that beautiful moments. It's like completely. I didn't have to do anything in exchange for it. I didn't have to work for it. There was non-transactional. Just done it for the sake of doing a good thing. Those were the moments, cumulatively, they changed me. Because I used to be more cynical and jaded. Maybe I was just being defensive, but it's a good playlist. We'll let it repeat. We're gonna go another half hour. Anyway, the course that my life took opened me up to a kind of comfortableness with vulnerability. And I reflect on that as being a very powerful and important lesson in my life. See the bridge and these guys, they're starting to cohere a little bit. They're feeling like they are being lit by the same light source. And it's interesting. Let's look here. Look how bright this highlight
There's
feels.
always been a Baggins living here.
But it's really only about 1/3 total available brightness. Right? So we still have all this room to play with. Look how saturated, look how blue it looks compared to the orange skin. Look here, it's barely saturated at all. So much room to play. The juxtaposition of the complementary colors gives it such richness, such richness. You just gotta make it look like you doused it with gasoline. It's the only way. It's the best way to do it. I'm gonna give my bro a quick text in a second. Let him know I'm gonna.
Welcome to Rivendell, Frodo Baggins.
Be done at 6:30. doesn't look right. Because it isn't. To be careful. We don't just throw light on everything. What will look right, coming from that angle, hitting here, the plane of this, is a kind of filtered green light. So just by means of demonstrating, not much more than what's already there. But let's add some green. Same to all the other stuff. Right now the green looks like something from another dimension. I might have added too much of it, but probably it won't look like it was too much if it was evenly applied to all the surfaces. This is interesting because there's so much red in the piece. All the tree trunks, right? Red. All these guys, orange basically, the wood. This giant moblin is so red. He's practically magenta. Looking pretty good so far. Okay, let's do one more moblin. Kind of lucky today. No idea what's really going on with the job I got booked on, but it can happen from time to time. I guess today was one of those days where booked to be around in case I'm needed, but then they don't end up needing me. In that regard, I'm kind of like a fireman. Where it's like, if you're not necessarily using them as much as you thought you might feel like you wasted your money, but I wouldn't feel that way if there was an emergency. There was a great Harry Potter lo-fi. Yeah, this one's cool.
a wizard, Harry.
Yes, this one's done by Chill Astronaut, which is a they have my endorsement as far as music. This is exciting. It's like when the piece gets to the threshold where it feels like the light is making sense, like it's logical, it gets easier to sort of check the...
That's not just a broomstick, Harry.
Like,
it's a Nimbus 2000.
Gut check whether or not some things are working and some things aren't. It feels like up until this point, we had, let's call them headwinds. You know, it's very difficult to see the obvious answer to the questions we had. Like when you are completing a puzzle, jigsaw puzzle. The hardest part is the beginning, where you're just finding pieces and nothing seems to fit. You persevere with it, nonetheless. Around about the halfway point, just when you get past it, things really start clicking together. Hey, this piece fits right here. I didn't have to look. Starts to come together with second nature. Before you know it, you're just picking them up and laying them down. It's fun. You feel like a genius. You're like, I know exactly where everything goes and I don't have to hunt. Crossword puzzle. You might get stuck on one word, but you complete the word adjacent to it, and it starts giving you some clues as to what letters might be available to complete that one. And then voila, you got it. Enough context clues to figure the stuff out, like algebraically, solving for x using what you have available. Ooh. Live dangerously, but shouldn't have gone that long without saving my work, so glad I remembered.
Happy Christmas, Harry. Happy Christmas, Ron.
Happy Christmas. Big red wooden spoon with blue light on it. And so one of the more primary differences between this pass and the last blue pass is the tool I'm using is more like a direct brush stroke. Previously, what I was using was a very wispy airbrush tool. And that was useful for sort of helping me get a pass at things without being overly concerned with like final details. Like final details are fine, but they need to be final. You know, they're not. You don't do those at the beginning. At least not the way I do them. But we are kind of adding final details as far as details that we would find. In the shadow of the blue light. It's going to be really fun getting to some of these areas, getting those lights in. Hey man, the chat's pretty quiet. I got kind of into my deep discussion era, so I wouldn't be surprised if everybody was gone, but or I put them to sleep. I'm a boring guy. How do I sound, Boxer? I played with there were some things wrong with the audio that I was using at this setup, especially. So I tried to tweak some things so that they wouldn't be too jarring for me. Audio sounds okay? Okay, cool. Okay, not great. You're supposed to say it sounds good with 3 O's.
So
Anyway, man, I'm gonna hand off to you in a minute, so. I wish you a well Friday night stream.
Fascinating creatures, Unity.
Boxer's in the mix. I'm going to stop, though, in a minute. Unless, Boxer, you're needing a little more time. Otherwise, because I can keep going. I'll keep cooking for a bit. Just a little bit longer. Set up your new monitor. Yeah, how do you like that? I tried those USB sticks that Dad gave us, and I was like, okay, no. They're oversized and underpowered. And like they come with all these wires, but they connect via Bluetooth, and I'm like, what is the point of that?
you're more likely to know. In time, you'll come to see just how much.
Decisions we'll make later on is once there's blue light on everything, then it's going to be an important thing for us to decide where do we want to put the direct light, because essentially we're going to have a kind of a light come down, a bright light come down. There's going to be some filtered light that's going to hit everywhere on top, but that's going to be pretty gentle. The direct light here is going to be intense from the top, and then it's going to bounce a lot of great light up too. So this guy is going to get some direct light on his horn. It'll be really nicely kind of rim lit. Not really, but kind of. And then all this like great warm light is going to hit his pecs and his throbbing abs, his slobbering tongue. Some of that on link too, but all about the Moblin. Moggin with the Moblin. I'm excited to get there. And then these guys won't get any direct light. They might get some of the bounce light. This guy way back here, he's going to be fairly dark. Dark in a dark area. So despite his size and detail, he'll sort of recede from attention, and all of our real attention is over here. There will be cool things to look at wherever you do want to look. Boxer takes chicken and puts it in a bowl with canned tomato sauce, canned black beans, and calls it chicken cacciatore. Have you guys heard of like super tasters and stuff like that? People don't like the taste of good food sometimes. What is that? That funny meme, ADHD sampler plate. Yeah, autism sampler plate, but it's This is hardly me being generous to my bro whom I love, but but you know, makes a killer omelet. That's good. When I saw this meme, whenever I did see it sometime in the past year, First off, it reminded me of my brother, but also reminded me a lot of my own kids. So, and then probably thirdly, a bit of myself, but what are the waffle things? I don't know. This is probably AI. I hope to God it isn't. I guess there's letters. I've seen these before. I have seen these. I don't know if these are waffles. The scale of the pizza is weird to me. That's why I think it might be AI. Because, like, how do you get... The pizza is super weird. Hors d'oeuvres, yeah. Pizza's like the only thing that doesn't make sense, but it also doesn't look like it is photoshopped in, and that's where I'm just like, it's got to be AI. or something. I don't know. Oh, it's a cheap dollar store. See, I'm too bougie to know what this pizza is. This actually doesn't look like a bad pizza, but it costs like $1, $1.50, and the SpaghettiOs and the pepperoni are the same size. Yeah, but this guy sounds like he knows he knows his pizza. The Celeste pepperonis are square. AI made a mistake. I mean, using AI to make memes, not the world's worst application of disposable technology. All right, let's see here. Great value. Okay. Like, just to be clear, in the case of me, it's really like my wife who's the bougie one. She like won't let us buy serious food at the dollar store. I mean, I get why, but like, also like I'll go there and I'll be like, that looks like a good thing. I want to get that. You know, I'm like, hey, that's a good price for a burrito. You know. She's like, no. My boxer, you will intercede when you are ready. I'm being productive, so I don't mind going a little bit further. It could just be bad Photoshop. It's a meme, yeah. I'm getting constant notifications about evacuations. Now, and to be fair, I signed up for this app that will let me know updates with these fires. And the thing about these fires is, like, yes, the Palisades fire is, you know, Palisades is theoretically, 20 miles from here as the crow flies. But it's freaking moved so far that that it's starting to, it literally is entering the valley where Boxer and I live. Stuff is just spreading everywhere, and so just out of an abundance of caution and responsibility, I have to be willing to check in with all the latest updates, but they are constant, and they are they're scary. Looking out the window right now, there's like a lot of wind. Palisades and Eaton fires are larger than Manhattan by acres. Wow. All of Manhattan, imagine that just burning, just all of it. It'll go down as one of those historical. It'll be like called like the Great Fire or something like that. The Great Fire of LA. What's so great about it? This guy has a theory. All right, what's your theory? Is it the one you told us before? I said theory, and Siri thought that I was talking to her. No, Siri. I'm not talking to you. Hey, theory. Yeah, she doesn't want to listen. That's funny. This is the hold on. What's your theory, Sky? All right, this is the these are my notifications. It's like, how can I do this? Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. It just goes like, whoa, just endless. Dude went into the woods, tried to perform a rain dance to stop our drought, and accidentally did a fire dance instead. No, this was Link. Link went out into the brush and with his ocarina and tried to play the Song of Storms, but ended up playing Bolero of Fire instead, right? Is that the... Did I do that right? Anyway, these jokes are fire. They're fire. It's pretty amazing. Pulled out his Wind Waker. Yeah, he did. Pulled out his skin flute. I didn't know. I didn't play Wind Waker. I gotta be honest. I'm sorry, I didn't. I'm a bad Zelda fan. Makes the wind god mad, and the wind god sets off a ton of tornadoes. Okay. Wind Baker, where you play Wind Waker baked as fuck. Yes. Well, that's how I played Twilight Princess. I was so baked the entire time, and I beat the game, but I have no recollection of it. Essentially, it's like that show Severance, right? Where they like go to work, but then they take a drug that wipes their memory, so they don't know how much they hate their job or whatever. They're able to do horrible things. I haven't really watched the show, but I catch my wife watching it sometimes. Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Mary Poppins. Let's see how far I get with this Moblin guy. But we've done good so far. I stop now? This tone, or this color, will probably be the brightest color that we'll see that will be in the shade. It's one of the only white things. White color. Again, soaked in kerosene. So it's got this oily, shiny look. Resolution on my laptop is so dense I can't make out those emotes you're typing. But they look cute. Happy to scratch this itch there with the flames exploding all over the valley as they have been, and the week of work being as busy as it was. It actually was a very busy work week for me. And that part was kind of sucky because it's like, yes, I needed the work, but also this was a week that I wouldn't have minded. I could have justified being just sort of glued to the television, waiting for something to happen that I could act on. This would have been one of the this would have been okay for me. I wouldn't have felt bad if I had just done nothing but pay attention to what was going on in the world. It didn't turn out that way. this is tricky because the muscles on a creature are not like one-to-one on a human. But definitely similar, right? So trying to think about if this was a human, where would those muscles be, and then where would those highlights go? It's almost like the muscles are there and they're the same, but the proportions are different. Right? That makes sense, right? Yeah, I don't want to forget about it. I should be like, who? Yeah. Alright. Time to seed control. Time to seed control. Alright, here. Save this. Let's do something fun. Go over to here. Let's see progress this way. Okay, so this is, yeah. So this is before we started today, and then, wait, no. Well, some of this got stepped on with other things, but this was, we basically, we've come a long way. These little sections here. Great, making good progress, and like I said, it's getting past that halfway point where I don't feel like I have to force myself to trust the process. Now the process is self-evident. Yes, okay, so now it's time to do this. And this is cool. Not regretting the, won't be beating the butt allegations. All right, here we go. You know, something silly like that. Like it's hot, you know, something appropriate, very topical. It's like, okay. Cool. Stuff looks cool. All right, I want to thank everybody for coming out and checking me out and being concerned about me and wishing me well and all that. I'm just gonna try to get through the week and wait, we're almost there. Get through the weekend, and hopefully it goes smooth. One way or another. Do my best to keep going. All right. Until next time. Adios.